Hello there. Sorry I'm late for class.
Oh, come on. What do you want? What do you want from me?
As I was saying, episode 3 of Class, Night Visiting, it brings us into new territory. I can't believe this is not part of the main series. It's relatively... No, there's no gore involved at all. It's just squicky, icky bits. That's my professional way of describing gooey alien monsters. It's a threat that works on a psychological level, and again, I don't know why I'm starting in the middle. The episode starts off with a focus on Tanya and her dad Jasper, and I forgot the mum's name. I'm horrible with names. I'm glad I remembered Tanya. It's one of those montages where you're like, oh, this is a person's life and here we are now. It's meant to give us an insight how Tanya has lost her dad and still feels very rotten about it, obviously. I mean, it's not something you just bounce back from like that. The entire episode takes place after 3 AM and then in a relatively short time frame, and I quite like that. It doesn't really say how long it takes, but it couldn't have been more than maybe an hour or hour or two. And the people in London around the Coal Hill School are being visited by their recent loved ones. And obviously, it's Doctor Who, it's aliens. If it's not aliens, it's time travel. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of time travel in Class just yet, so it's aliens. This species of alien is called the Lankin, and I'm not quite sure if there were several or if there was just the one. And it feeds on grief, on a form of love for the deceased, and it's basically like a Venus flytrap. The beast with a billion backs from Futurama, but then completely serious. And I liked how we got a focus on Tanya, because so far, aside from Ram, she's my favourite character out of the kids. Miss Quill obviously being my favourite character out of everybody. Speaking of Miss Quill, she gets a nice little focus as well about how alien she is compared to us. Like, you don't think of that all the time because you see just a human actress, but it gets really into detail about just how weird the culture was. The Lankin basically exist to trap other species using their recent deceased anamorphic resonance. It's our fancy words in Doctor Who to say they kind of look like the other thing that you expect them to look like. This is used to great effect where the Lankin, as Tanya's father Jasper, managed to recall everything in her life perfectly, and I don't think it was made clear whether he was fishing her memories for the answers or he legit was there. And the Lankin, at least the one that poses as Jasper, it gets portrayed sufficiently creepy with squishy blinking sounds, and I don't think the word squishy should ever be coupled with blinking sounds. You see him basically hunger for this young girl because of her grief being that strong. A couple of blocks away, Miss Quill was going through a similar dilemma, and it was nice to see a focus on her which was not comedic, because she actually recanted things of the past without making jokes or quipping, or I've recently gotten slightly allergic to quipping thanks to Doctor Strange. So when we see her doubt, you're actually doubting whether or not what's going on. Is she playing it, or is she seeing through it? Only for it to be quickly resolved and answered by the presence of Charlie, which just immediately flips her scene around. We got a little inside of the Polish lad, who I thought was Russian, Mateusz, who didn't seem like anything else beyond a guy to kiss in episode 1. I'm glad we fleshed him out a little bit. I still don't care much about him or his character, and he seems like he's just an attachment to Charlie for Charlie to discover what human beings are like. There's focus on April and Ram as well, because Ram can't contact Tanya because she's his go-to girl for grieving, I suppose. And we get an exploration about April as a character and her music and her past as well. It sounds really harsh, but I don't care much for April either. It's just, it seems like out of the kids, aside from Charlie, she's supposed to be like the main focus, which is why she got the Shadowkin heart in episode 1. I'm not feeling it. I hope I'll warm up to her and Mateus in later episodes, because so far it's just they're kind of just there. I'm just okay with them. The climax is a bit easy, I'd say, but it doesn't matter much when the meat of the episode has been so good that you don't really need to spend another 10 minutes trying to figure out how to beat the bad guy. No need to figure out any kryptonite weaknesses or any secret plans. It's just resolving and over. Which is good, because this episode didn't really feel like it needed to. It wasn't an action episode, it was mainly talks. But talks can be good. So I really liked this episode. It was great work. I hope this is going to continue, because so far, in my opinion, it has been a steady incline from okay to good to pretty damn good. So next episode sees us coming back to the Shadowkin, and I was expecting them to come back, but I didn't expect them to come back that quickly. Anyway, here's hoping that the next episode is going to be good as well. I think it's a two-parter, so if it is a two-parter, I might just do them both at once. Anyway, don't click anything. Don't click like buttons, don't click subscribe buttons, don't click anything. Social media, don't do that. It's bad for you. So yeah, I'll see you next time, maybe.